Just
All right, and we're live. So we got Raphael Assuncao versus Victor Henry. Should be a good fight. Raphael Assuncao is a Brazilian veteran with good jiu-jitsu skills, and Victor Henry just made his debut recently. I believe he's one fight into the UFC, and it should be good. Hey, we got one viewer. Shout out to the one viewer. If you want, throw something in the chat, and I will respond. I respond to all of um, my people that commentate. So far, they're just showing some replays of Rafael Sunsao and Victor Henry, and they're about to make their walk out to the octagon. Victor Henry got the long hair, which is kind of an interesting, odd look, and kind of reminds me of Clay Guida. And I wonder, I'd have to look it up, what the rules are for um, the hair, because back in the day, you could grab the hair in the early UFC fights, as you saw Hoist Gracie do to Chemo. He grabbed his ponytail and was punching him in the face with the ponytail. I don't know if that's legal or not anymore. I'd have to double check the rules. So far, this guy Victor Henry has Josh Barnett in his corner, a super legend. Um, and my dad's a big fan of Josh Barnett and Eric Paulson. Eric Paulson, and that's the team that this guy Victor Henry is fighting out of. It also looks like Cub Swanson, who's going to be a great fight in a bit, um, is in Victor Henry's corner as well. I'm really excited for the Cub Swanson fight, as Cub Swanson defeated Crone Gracie, and it looks like he essentially retired him from MMA, which is a crazy feat. That's the first time someone under that Hickson Gracie tutelage has lost an MMA fight in a long time. Hickson's son is Crone, and Cub Swanson beat Crone. I would love to see Crone fight again, though, in the UFC or whatever promotion, as he is extremely skilled and a great representative of Jiu-Jitsu. But that's neither here nor there. So far, we got Victor Henry making his way into the octagon. He's got his hair in a crazy braided mixed match, braid to bun ponytail situation going on. And Victor Henry is definitely the new up and coming guy, while Raphael Assuncao has been in the UFC for a while, been fighting consistently, and is definitely the UFC veteran. So experience is one major thing that helps you in these fights. The three main categories, I'd say, for things that help you in fights are your skills. The actual skills that you acquire in the gym is number one. Two is your physical attributes that you take in with you to help you pull off those skills. And then three is your experience of um, the way that you're able to use those skills and attributes in the cage, having done it before and being aware of the clock and the time and all of those great things that are associated with experience. So the three major things that any fighter anywhere takes into any competition or octagon in this case are their skills, their physical attributes, and their experience. And a good way to size people up against each other are who has the advantage in those three categories. Well, Rafael Sunsao definitely has the advantage in the experience category. The tail of the tape is he's 40 years old versus Victor Henry's 35. Rafael Sunsao is 5'5.5". Victor Henry's 5'7". They both weigh in at 136 pounds for the bantamweight division. And Rafael Sunsao has a 66.5-inch reach, and Victor Henry has a 68-inch reach. The screen had switched. Wow, it's showing Victor Henry as the minus 410 favorite, which is pretty significant considering he's only like 2 fights into the UFC. Just by the way that he was warming up and in the back room and stuff, you could tell he is a seasoned striker, though, and should be interesting to see how Raphael Assuncao deals with the striking. They are just having the announcer announce their names, and the fight shall begin in a second or two. Ken Shalay says Eric Paulson. Yes, yes, Eric Paulson. Eric Paulson's the man. The guy Victor Henry is fighting out of Josh Barnett and Eric Paulson's camp. My dad's a big fan, Ken Shaloya, of Eric Paulson, and he's got some great videos on YouTube that my dad loves to watch. All right, first fights beginning right now. So far, you see Victor Henry open with a front kick here. Raphael Assuncao with a kick to the leg. So far, a couple stance switches here, but it seems that they've both settled into and stance switching again. They both sort of never mind. They just keep on switching their stances back and forth, back and forth. Victor Henry throws a right hand over the top. And it seems Victor Henry is taking control of the center of the octagon and keeping Raphael Assuncao on the outside. 4 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in this first round here. And you could see Victor Henry striking looks very clean. And Raphael Assuncao catches a kick that Victor Henry throws and uses it to throw a couple strikes, a nice back fist off of the kick catch. You don't hear that too often. I remember I studied karate, and my sensei would call out uraken, which would mean back fist in Japanese. And it's always great to see a nice back fist in MMA. And it's also got to put Victor Henry on notice that anytime that he throws a kick, Raphael Assuncao, nice 1-2. Anytime that he throws a kick, it could be caught by Assuncao and then taken and dragged down into Raphael Assuncao's superior grappling. So what seems to be happening now is the fight is turning into much more of a boxing type fight where they're both using their hands and are definitely throwing strikes with their hands. Victor Henry throwing a couple kicks here, but he's being a lot more conservative in throwing lower leg kicks and throwing front kicks, which are notoriously harder to catch and go for takedowns with. 2 minutes, 44 seconds here. And Victor Henry's strikes, they're also coming out a lot more straight. Assuncao goes in nice for a double leg, switches to a single leg. And he doesn't get the takedown, but as Victor Henry recovers, he definitely landed a couple good punches on that exchange. Really good footwork here from Victor Henry, trying to control the center of the octagon. But Raphael Assuncao, just such a veteran here, and able to do some nice counter striking and really just take back control of the fight, even though Victor Henry's doing like the classic correct things. 1 minute, 51 seconds left here in the first round. Raphael Assuncao goes for a beautiful body lock here off of the overhand looping punch from Victor Henry, and he uses this underhook to push him to the cage. So Victor Henry has got his back against the cage, and Raphael Assuncao is pushing him up here, throwing some knees, and you saw that they both were looking for the elbow off the clinch, which has recently become a major part of MMA. And as they disengaged, they were palming the inside of the biceps, which stops the elbows from happening. So it's interesting you're seeing that has become a major part of the game and something that these guys are now actively defending against when they go to break off from the clinch. 1 minute left in the first round here. Oh, nice head kick from Victor Henry. Raphael Assuncao just eats it. It does catch his glove a little bit, but still. Oh, another head kick here from Victor Henry. And then Victor Henry throws another kick. Raphael Assuncao catches it. And they're back in this clinch against the fence. Raphael Assuncao throws a nice 1-2 off the clinch, and they're back in the center of the octagon now. Good stuff here from both guys, though. 30 seconds left into the first round. Really tough round to score for both of them. I'd say that Victor Henry's doing a good job of cutting off the octagon and making sure that he's the one that's like leading the dance, so to say. There's a fine art to a nice wheel kick there from Victor Henry. Amazing stuff. A front leg wheel kick. You don't see that one too often. 3, 2, 1, and time. That's the end of the first round. Great first round. Hard to say who won that one. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, yes. There's a certain art to making it look like you are the one dominating the fight or in control or in charge of the fight. And Victor Henry is doing a great job of that. And many fights have been won from just the skill and attribute of being able to do that. A good example is John Jones. John Jones always looks like he is winning the fight, regardless of if he's winning the fight or not, as he takes on the posture and stance and footwork of controlling the octagon and making it look like he's the one that's in charge of things, even if his opponent is landing great strikes on him. There's a certain art to making it look like you are winning the fight. And Victor Henry has done a great job of this. Second round begins. And they both come out very tentative, exchanging jabs back and forth. Victor Henry looks to use footwork to control the center of the octagon and keep Raphael Assuncao on the side of the cage here. Henry looking for some nice spinning kicks, and then Raphael Assuncao answers with a spinning kick of his own, not wanting to make it look like he's doing a flashy dance on you. Raphael Assuncao is doing a good strategy too here, where he's using the oblique kicks, where he kicks just above the knee to counter the constant forward pressure of Victor Henry, and that's where the fight is. But you keep getting a kick slammed into your knee every time you're looking to walk forward. It makes you kind of think twice about continuing to go forward. Another oblique kick there from Assuncao, and a nice overhand right too. A great way to combine your strikes is that low leg kick, like the oblique kick, and Victor Henry goes for a crazy spinning strike. Raphael Assuncao reads it and uses it to take him down. Good stuff here. Victor Henry looking for an armbar from the closed guard, but Raphael Assuncao is very wise to it. Victor Henry looking to switch to a kind of a triangle type setup, but it's going to be very difficult on the veteran that Raphael Assuncao is. And Raphael Assuncao now really taking control, passing the guard of Victor Henry. Victor Henry looked to scramble out and get to his knees, but Raphael Assuncao controls the scramble. And, oh my goodness, throws a huge head kick off of the break there. Victor Henry really tried as hard as he can to scramble out and to move away, and Assuncao did a really good job of trying to slow him down. Just barely, Victor Henry gets out, and Assuncao threw a beautiful head kick on the break as he was no longer able to control Victor Henry on the ground. One thing you see a lot in MMA grappling that's different from normal jiu-jitsu grappling is there is such an element of people trying to stand up on you and get away and get back to the striking department. So in a normal grappling class, you have sort of an agreement between two people that they're going to do grappling. And in MMA type grappling, it's really one guy is trying to grapple and the other guy is trying to not grapple and get up and turn it back into a striking match. And that's what you see here. A lot of times that, oh, a nice couple punches right here off of the kicks from Assuncao. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here. He catches the kick. He throws a couple right hands off of it, pushes Victor Henry up against the fence in the cage here, and uses it to take Victor Henry down. Victor Henry made a couple of adjustments, not throwing the same kicks that he did before, but he sort of threw caution to the wind and looking for a triangle, though, here is Victor Henry. Raphael Assuncao should be really wise to it, though, with his great jiu-jitsu experience. Yep, he is wise to it. And, Victor Henry made that sort of adjustment early on of not throwing those same kicks where they could be countered and taken advantage of by Assuncao, but got a little sloppy here in the second round with him and finds himself in the bottom of the guard. With a seasoned jiu-jitsu veteran on top of him. Not a good look for Victor Henry here. And the way Assuncao is kind of crowding him and using this position is a great way of keeping Victor Henry on the ground here too. Victor Henry would love to get up and get out of here, but the way Assuncao is controlling the situation, moving into a leg drag, beautiful stuff here from Assuncao. Really shows his grappling skill and prowess here. 5 seconds left though in the round. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice. And Victor Henry gets up with a huge cut above and around his eye here. So I guess the first round was close. You could have given it to anyone either way. I guess I'd give it to Victor Henry if I had to on the slight advantage, but second round was clearly a round for Raphael Assuncao, and they will be going into the third. I wonder if Victor Henry's corner will tell him to sort of ease up on those kicks, as they seem to be the thing that is getting him in trouble and allowing Raphael Assuncao to take the fight to the ground where he wants it to be. So if Victor Henry could make that adjustment, there's a good chance that he wins this fight. And if he can't make that adjustment, there's a good chance that he loses. A lot of times you see a striker who is like very reliant on their kicks, and they have a difficult time like separating their boxing from their kickboxing. And you have to be able to adapt in there completely. Third round beginning right now, both exchanging jabs in the very center of the octagon. Victor Henry using his usual footwork pattern to push Assuncao against the fence and the cage here. Oh, and a nice 1-2 here from Raphael Assuncao. It looks like he's starting to take the momentum of this fight from that dominant second round. A nice overhand right as well here. And shout out to Assuncao for being in his 40s and looking as fresh and as youthful as ever. Not a even hint of him slowing down whatsoever in this fight against the younger guy. Both guys in a over-under clinch right now, and a nice knee off the clinch from Raphael Assuncao. That standard one guy has an underhook and the hands are clasped kind of clinch is much more prevalent in MMA than it is in like a standard jiu-jitsu match, because the type of stance that people have often influence the type of takedowns. Beautiful single leg attempt here, just straight up regular running the pipe single leg from Raphael Assuncao, and he gets it, puts Victor Henry up against the fence using the strategy of bending Victor Henry's spine and keeping his head pressed up against the fence and his legs all the way up in the air so that it's difficult for Victor Henry to stand up and get away from him. And Victor Henry finds his way to a turtle position, though, here. Really good stuff, and is able to get back to his feet. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. And another nice 1-2 from Assuncao here. And a nice elbow from Victor Henry. It's definitely a good fight we got. 3 minutes left here. Really, this fight is still completely up for grabs from both guys. And there it is. Victor Henry throws a kick. Raphael Assuncao catches it and is looking to push him up against the fence, which he does. And the takedown's defended. Wow. Good stuff there. This is the a major conversation, though, to be had in this fight about the kicks and the catching of those kicks. And it looks like Raphael Assuncao really kind of spent some energy, though, there trying to get that takedown because he knew how important it was. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left in this fight. A nice jab from Assuncao. And Victor Henry is still wearing that damage from the ground and pound of Assuncao from the last round. 1 minute, 51 seconds left here in this fight. Nice overhand right from Victor Henry. Double underhooks from Victor Henry. But you could tell Victor Henry definitely wants to keep this fight standing. And another nice 1-2 from Raphael Assuncao. Goes for a double leg with an aggressive turning of the corner and trying to change your angle and finish that double leg. But Victor Henry's just barely able to stand up there. Great stuff. Raphael Assuncao looking for this takedown, really trying to get it, doing a single leg here. Victor Henry pummels in an underhook, though. It's going to make that leg really heavy for Assuncao in this kind of situation. Makes it really hard to get that takedown. 45 seconds left in this fight. Fight still seems to be up for grabs for both guys. If Assuncao can get this takedown and beat on him for the last 30 seconds of the last round, he probably has this fight won. So that's the battle that you see happening right now. 30 seconds left here, 25 seconds left. Assuncao still holding on to the leg, looking for that takedown. 17 seconds. And a nice hook off the clinch here for Raphael Assuncao. 8 seconds. Victor Henry throws a spinning back kick. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and time. They both shake hands and embrace in the center of the octagon. Should be a pretty close decision. I'd give it to Raphael Assuncao in winning the second and third round, but it could literally go any which way. Victor Henry, as I said, was doing a great job of being able to make it look like he's winning the fight with his footwork and making sure that he was in the center of the octagon. Octagon control is the last criteria by which the judges score things. And a lot of times it's valued quite highly because it makes it look like you are winning the fight if you're controlling where you are and where the other fighter is, and if you have them pressed up against the cage and all of that. And just in general, you always want to be the fighter who has more ring behind you and cut off the cage for the other guy as well. All right, they're back to have them announce the official decision. All right. After 3 hard rounds, Joe Martinez scores it. We go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. 30-27 for your winner, Raphael Assuncao. Good job, Raphael Assuncao. Still kicking in his 40s. They gave him the first round. I think he made a good case for winning the first round, but really the first round was super close, and then he definitely won the last two, in my opinion. He's getting his interview from Paul Felder, and he looks good. He's feeling good, and I wonder where he's going to go next in his fighting career. All right, I will be back for the Cub Swanson fight. I think that's going to be a great fight. I'm a Cub Swanson fan. And then we also have the main event, Alexa Grasso versus Viviane Araujo, which this card was built around. Anyway, much love, guys, and I will see you soon. Peace.